Hi, a little bit of an interesting topic for today and quite an obscure one. I was working on one of my other bike kits last night and fitting the tires onto the rims. And as I was doing the front tire, I was sort of checking, okay, so which way does the rim run and which way should the tire be? It's one of those with somewhat of a V-shaped groove pattern. And then I remembered, okay, there is in fact a right way and there's a wrong way. And then I remembered back and checked it up. And so I don't know how many of the bike modelers know this, but I think certainly if you ride bikes, you'll know this, that the V pattern, and even if it's not a straight up V, but something like this where there are lines on it, even if they don't form an exact V, they may be offset like that, or even only a slight V as opposed, but some tires do have a V. That your front tire ends up being opposite to the back tire. So your front tire, as you're riding, is the road is pushing on it, slowing you down due to friction. Your back tire is pushing on the road and pushing your bike forward, so they have an opposite force exertion on them. The front tire, as the front tire rolls forward and touches the ground, it needs to be in this shape V, touching the road. And what happens is it stabilizes and centralizes your front tire. The reverse is true of the back. As the back pushes against the road, it has that opposite effect and remains, it sort of centralizes the bike. So if you did the opposite on the back, your back tire would tend to push off to the side. If you do the opposite on the front, your front just runs off very fast. And I once did this by accident on one of the bikes that I owned. I'd found a couple of tires which I'd bought, quite nice tires, but this particular tire had it was marked as a rear tire. And when they have these patterns, you'll often find that they're marked, that they're able to be used as a front or a rear, or only as a rear, or sort of recommended as a rear or a front. I bought this one which was recommended as a rear, and so it has the rotation direction on it. I had the tire off, I had the wheel off the bike, took it to the shop with this, which I now wanted to use on the front. And they didn't think about it at the time, I guess. They just put it on in the direction that it said, rotation direction this way around. I didn't think about it after that. Got home, and within the first 50 meters of me riding that bike, I almost lost it. The wheel pulled so strongly over to the side, and that's when I learned about what happens when you use that V wrongly. Now, even when you've got a pattern like this, not the easiest to see in this light, which is closer to symmetrical, but it still has one bit of V longer than the other, a short V and a long V, they still will have a rotation direction. Only the symmetrical tires or a no-tread tire will be able to be reversible. It doesn't matter which way you put it on, because the way that the road encounters your tread is the same. So I just thought that would be interesting. It's quite easy to sort of not even think about it as you're building the bike model. Put the tires on as you felt at the moment, and it ends up being wrong. So yeah, front and rear tread patterns need to be opposite, and there are videos on this on YouTube. You can go and get more detail there. Cheers.